Now, my next guests have recently got married, but Jenna and Matthew Carlin initially had to postpone their big day because they were desperate to have their 3-year-old daughter, Ava, at the wedding. And before that could happen, Ava needed life-changing surgery. In December 2015, Ava Carlin was born with a rare condition called Craniosynostosis, which affects around 350 babies in the UK each year. As a result of the condition, Ava's skull didn't form properly, which could have led to potential brain damage as she got older. At only 18 months old, Ava underwent a 9-hour surgery to rebuild her skull. Now, after 2 years of recovery, Ava is enjoying life with what she calls her new head. And Ava joins me now with her mum and dad, Jenna and Matty, and big brother, Luca. Hello, you two. Great to have you all here. Thank you so much for telling your story. It's really almost hard to believe what you've been through with Ava sitting here now, just in great spirits and looking wonderful. But you had some really scary moments back in the day, and you sort of knew there was something not quite right from the moment she was born, really.
Yeah, that's right. We did speak to the health professionals when she was first born, and we just kept thinking like, her face was a bit wonky and we couldn't put our finger on it, what was actually wrong with her. And they just kept reassuring us, saying, oh, she's been squashed in your womb for 9 months and she'll even out, don't worry about it, it'll be absolutely fine. And then as the weeks went on and our concerns grew more and more, and then eventually she went to physio for a condition called torticollis. And we spoke to the physio and said, oh, we're concerned, her face isn't symmetrical. It's just very minor, but it's something that we can see and that we don't think's right. And from there, she was aware of the condition and referred us to a paediatrician, and we went for x-rays and we were diagnosed.
And it is such a rare condition. To be fair to the doctors, it's not something that's on the radar.
No, not at all.
Can you see yourself on the TV there, Ava? I know. Well, she's doing incredibly well now. But going back to that, to the operation, you knew then, after the diagnosis, that there would have to be major surgery. What did the doctors tell you? Why was it so crucial to do it at the time? It was to do with how her head would continue to grow.
That's right. So they waited till she was 18 months, because up to that point, it couldn't affect her. It wouldn't affect her with the brain or anything in them ways, but she was old enough to recover well from surgery. So that's why they always say it's around 18 months is best to do the surgery. So
to wait until 18 months is strenuous enough for all of you, knowing that it was going to happen. But it took 9 hours in surgery, and I know you found that particularly difficult, Matty.
Yeah, it was. It was a really long day. That day it was one that we were quite glad to get through and know that she's okay. Be the biggest one and get it over and done with. Yeah.
Of course, of course. I suppose you were getting updates the whole time during those 9 hours, but you're in a bit of a haze, I guess, until you hear the words that everything's okay.
Yeah, definitely. They kept us well informed all of the way through the operation, and you know she's in good hands ultimately as well. So yeah, it went really well.
So off the back of it, and we were seeing the pictures there, huge surgery for a little girl at 18 months, a huge scar at that point as well. But it took sort of 2 years really after that for her to almost grow into what they had rebuilt.
Yeah. So what they say is that they overcompensate the forehead just after surgery, so it just cuts out any risk of them having to redo the surgery. So eventually it looked very prominent, and then as the 2 years went down, the swelling went down, she grew more into a new shape and everything looked more natural. So
how is she doing now? What did the doctor say? Would she need another sort of surgery when she's a little bit older, or is everything good now?
But they're really happy with the recovery, and they said she's doing fantastic. She still has a defect in the skull at the top here where the bone hasn't grew together. They said it could in time, but we can reassess the situation, and it is something simple that they can do to help us. But it's not till she's 8-year-old, and it's something that we just speak about, and if it's something that's important to Ava and if it's going to affect her in any way, then we'll go forward with it. But if it's nothing that's too important, we don't need to. And I'm guessing Luca's a very protective big brother, yeah, Luca?
Yeah.
Do you look after your little sister?
Yes.
I guess that. You're very, very good. And Ava's in great spirits. And this is your first time in London, I believe, you two? You've been doing all the sightseeing stuff the past couple of days, haven't you? So Buckingham Palace. Well, we're going to send you today, if you've got enough time, to see life
London Aquarium.
Oh,
And you can see it's a brilliant place. You
Oh,
two really,
wow.
really enjoy it. Are you up for that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
go and
I
see
bet
the
you
fish?
are. Well, that's for later on. You,
thank you.
of course, waited until Ava was back on her feet for your big day.
Yes.
So the big day went according to plan, clearly. You had a wonderful time. It was just lovely.
It did, it went perfect. We couldn't be happier. The little flower girl.
Look at her, you're just gorgeous. Well, look, it's great to see you, and I know it's important for you to try and tell this story because there are parents at home in exactly the same position who had never heard of this condition, and it's really helped. You've got a lot of feedback from people so far, haven't you?
Yes, I think when we first got diagnosed, we felt very isolated and alone as we'd never heard of the condition before. And we tried looking for other stories online and we did struggle. So when we got to this point with Ava being so fantastic and the recovery so well, we just wanted to show people it is scary, it is really worrying, but the outcome, she's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's just a reassurance people need.
Yeah, of course it is. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you, Ava. Thank you. Look, enjoy your day at the aquarium. You'll have a nice time, yeah? Thanks so much.
you.
And thank you, Maddie.